Alrighty, welcome back. We are on episode number 14 of Divinity Original Sin, part 2, the definitive edition. Last episode we continued at exploring Fort Joy, and we met Bane, who also survived the shipwreck. Of course, we kind of had an idea that was going to happen since we saw that he was reading a book, just waiting for the ship to go down. The sorceress Wendigo somehow, mysteriously, took his mask of the shapeshifter from him while on the ship, even though it didn't seem like Bane was affected by her source blast, so I'm not sure how that logic happened, but anyway, we found him here on the island hovering over this dead human, and recruited him. So we made him a, get over here, don't go over there, a knight and a shadow blade. We made him a shadow blade. I wanted to make him a rogue, but the rogue started with the civil abilities of sneaking. The civil ability of sneaking, and I wanted thievery. And there wasn't really all that much difference between the two, other than what they selected as far as skills go, but yeah, we can still make him a two-handed backstabbing rogue. He still has scoundrel, and he's got polymorph, and from what we've determined on the two-hand warrior, polymorph is pretty fucking powerful. So I'm not overly concerned that we have points spent in polymorph. A, because it gives you the attribute, and B, because the starting skills are pretty decent. And I'm still not sure how this game works, so I don't know if we'll be able to respec or not, but yeah. So we poisoned his weapons, and then, yeah, that's Bane. Let's go ahead and get his skills to where... Alright, so, and Bane has this skill here, which, God bless. This seems like it's just going to break the game. It's crazy, really. Play dead. Let's stick that over here. Backlash. So this is what I wanted to have on my primary character until I realized that it required a dagger and not a two-hander. I was really happy, joyous, really, that I was going to be able to use that until I figured out when I tried to spend the points on it, I had to have a dagger. Alright, so, he has Chameleon Cloak, so he can go invisible and play dead. And worry. Alright. And then he's got Chicken for crowd control. And these are all crowd control abilities. I guess I should put the combat abilities. These are more crowd control than anything. Okay. Alright, so, yeah, let's go check out what's going on here. This body, he's got a potato and some gold for us. Alright, we also found this chest that we can't really do anything with. Either we'll be able to get to that chest from here somehow, or find another way of getting to it, I guess. Yeah. Likely, in Divinity 1 you could teleport items from locations, so you're probably going to be able to teleport this, so we will probably need to get arrow thurge on somebody and pick up the teleportation spell, assuming it's still a low-level spell. Alright, let's head on out. And head up here to where Coral is sobbing about her mommy. Okay, exploration XP. We have Unis. We have all kinds of items that can be stolen. Let's talk to her first, I guess. Let's talk to Eunice. I don't really want to hear her sobbing in the background the entire time, though. Okay. Crime and punishment. If you take or touch property that isn't yours, beware of the consequences. Owners will develop a negative attitude towards you, and they will call the guards or even attack you if you go too far. Different people have different reactions. Okay, so crime and punishment. So that's popping up because obviously this is like a tutorial on how to steal stuff. Instead of talking with the main character, let's talk to her with the lizard.
You hear a small whimpering sound from behind a basket. You peer behind it and find a small human child holding her knees and trembling.
Alright. She has some shells, a water balloon, 2 AP, creates a small water surface with a 3-meter radius, set wet for 2 turns, 13-meter range, 3-meter explode radius, some lockpicks, and a trap disarming hit. Okay, I think we've seen that before. Okay, before I deal with her, I'm just gonna go off. I just want to tie her up because I don't want to hear her sobbing all the time while we're sitting here trying to talk to her. And apparently she doesn't have lines because she hasn't said a thing. So, what is this fishbone? Fishbone. Most organic matter can be turned to processes dark or light. Use with caution. Alright, free fishbone. Party following. Party members can't follow you through dangerous surfaces or obstacles. Clear the way and they will follow you again. I wonder what it's talking about. Maybe Sir Laura? Where's the cat? Where is the cat? Where's the black cat? Maybe it was supposed to be talking about this poison thing. Oh, there he is. So the black cat can't follow us up. Well, why can't he follow if Sir Laura can? What the fuck is going on here? This buggy ass game. God bless, man. What the fuck is that all about? Alright. There was a poison trail in front of this, so I think that warning was because of the poison trail in front of this. But I had already dragon breathed it down, so... Alright. Some stuff in there. Alright.
Where is she? You go with us. Who are you? Are you from the shelter? She says nothing of another. Fire, alas! She is so late!
Who is she? Are you from the shelter? Okay. Apparently there's a shelter. Let's see what she has. Gold tomato soup. 1 AP, effects unknown. The result of a blessed union between tomato and a hammer. Okay. Razzle dazzle grenade. 2 AP. The razzle dazzle can inflict blind in a 4-meter radius. Set blinded for 2 turns. Resisted by magic armor. 13-meter range. 4-meter explode radius. Stained shirt. Same thing we have on, but a little more physical armor. And an empty potion bottle. Alright, where is she, huh? Ask her to slow down and explain what she means. Lie and say, yes, you're meant to go with them. You sense an opportunity. Say she sent you to collect the group's valuables. She needs every last piece of gold before moving forward. Say you're sorry, but you don't know what she means. If she explains, you may be able to help. Let's say you sense an opportunity. Say she sent you to collect all the group's valuables. She needs every last piece of gold before moving forward.
The elf looks at you sideways, as though sizing you up. Her features tighten into an angry frown before suddenly collapsing in defeat.
I fear this happens. How else does she take us without bribing every guard in this place? I save a reserve just in case. Here. Tell Magister Atusa it's the last we have.
So we received Eunice's pouch, it looked like, and now we know who she is. Magister Atusa. Magister Atusa, huh? Where is she? So where's Magister Atusa? Are we supposed to go with them? Who are we? Are you from the shelter? Magister Tuza says nothing of another. So Magister Tuza is helping the sorcerer somehow. Actually, the sorcerer and probably Coral over there. Take your leave. Ask if she knows where exactly Atuza is meant to take them. Thank her and say you'll deliver this to Atuza right away. Ask if she knows where exactly Atuza is meant to take them.
She says there is a shelter in the marshes outside the fort. She says she brings us there first. She knows a safe path. We wait for a boat, and then we go. Wherever we make a new home.
Shelter in the marshes outside the fort. You're supposed to go by boat, huh? Alright, take your leave, thank her, and say you'll deliver this to Atuza right away.
Tell her we wait. Tell her she is our last hope to leave this place.
Okay.
So, what next?
Say you're certain Atuza will come. It's only a matter of time.
Nothing at all is certain. This is a new time. Put your faith nowhere.
You know, I'm an elf. She's an elf. Maybe I should do this in a bit different way. Alright, hold on. Let's talk to her with Bane. And see if that option to exploit her comes up. And then I can talk to her with the elf in a different fashion. Oh, I didn't get the lizard to tie him up yet. Come here.
You hear a small whimpering sound from behind a basket. You peer behind it and find a small human child holding her knees and trembling.
And that's a human child, not an elf, and she's clearly an elf. Alright, let's do this.
Go! Get out! You are not welcome here! Go, man-pig!
Oh, apparently I can't talk to her because I'm a man-pig. Shit. Alright, we have to do this different then. Dare her to call you a man-pig again. Apologize and back away. Gently raise your hands and say you mean no harm. So, Fane seems not really aggressive in his temperament. He's like humdrum, you know, you've seen it before. He expects this kind of attack, basically, this type of verbal attack. So he wouldn't really be upset by this. He would be expecting it. He would probably apologize and back away, or he could gently raise his hands and say he meant no harm. Yeah, let's do that. Gently raise your hands and say you mean no harm.
She eyes you suspiciously.
Please, please, just go.
Alright.
You hear me, human. Leave.
Yeah, she does not like humans. That's gonna change things. So, so now the question is, if I take my leave with the lizard, do I lose this? So let's try it.
You hear a small whimpering sound from behind a basket. You peer behind it and find a small human child holding her knees and trembling.
Okay, so let's lock her up with him instead.
You hear a small whimpering sound from behind a basket. You peer behind it and find a small human child holding her knees and trembling.
Alright, let's try talking to her with the lizard now.
Where is she? You go with us.
There we
Who
go.
are you? Are you from the shelter? She says nothing of another. Fire, alas! She is so late!
Alright, you sense an opportunity. Say she sent you to collect all the group's valuables. She needs every last piece of gold before moving forward.
The elf looks at you sideways, as though sizing you up. Her features tighten into an angry frown before suddenly collapsing in defeat.
I fear this happens. How else does she take us without bribing every guard in this place? I save a reserve just in case. Here. Tell Magister Atuza it's the last we have.
Ask if she knows where exactly Atuza is meant to take them.
She says there is a shelter in the marshes outside the fort. She says she brings us there first. She knows a safe path. We wait for a boat, and then we go. Wherever we make a new home.
Thank her and say you'll deliver this to Atuza right away.
Tell her we wait. Tell her she is our last hope to leave this place.
Take your leave.
So, what next?
Say you're certain Natuza will come. It's only a matter of time.
Nothing at all is certain. This is a new time. Put your faith nowhere.
So if you noticed, she spoke in the present tense the entire time. Huh. Interesting. So we picked up a quest, The Path of Greatest Resistance. Find the dissident magisters. Some sorcerers have had magisters' help in escaping the fort. And these, again, are showing up for whatever reason. Alright, so that was Escape from Fort Joy, The Path of Greatest Resistance. Okay, so we picked up a pouch. Eunice's pouch, a sumptuous velvet pouch used for holding small trinkets, coins, or herbs, likely the property of a noble. Let's take this out. We get 27 gold. Alright, so what's cool is this is a special looking pouch, so we can put something in there so we can find it easier in our inventory. So right now we have ease in here. So I can just use that one so I know if I ever get a key I can just toss it into that particular pack. Make it easier to see it. Oh, we need to look at Fane's gear. Let's see what he has. What did he have? Oh, he's got all kinds of stuff. Alright, he has a small poison bottle, which makes sense because he can heal with poison. In fact, we should probably send all these poisoned items to him so that he has them in his inventory. Okay. He already has backlash. It might be wise for him to keep that too, so we'll send that to him. I don't know what happened there. There we go. Red pants, another backpack, it's empty. Rest scroll. An oil flask. 2 AP creates a small oil puddle with a 2-meter radius, 13-meter range, 2-meter explode radius. Then he has Bane's notebook and Hubert's Encyclopedia Volume 4. Lucian and the Black Ring. 1 volume of Cranley Hubert's extensive encyclopedia series. Alright, let's take a read. 1218 AD, Lucian and the Black Ring. I have no idea what the timeline is. I don't even remember seeing a timeline in Divinity 1, so if I knew what the timeline was in Divinity 1, I can tell how far this game is away from Part 1, which would be nice to know. 1218 AD. Okay. In this treatise, Cranley, the scribe, goes into great lengths to document the genesis of the Black Ring, as best he can. In summary, Lucian's adopted son, Damien, was resentful of his father and became the Lord of Chaos, which sounds extreme, but according to Hubert, Damon may have had good reason. There is much about Lucian's killing of Yagurna, Damon's lover. Damon's banner attracted a cabal of outcasts, deviants, dark wizards, and various other tainted and tarnished individuals. The cabal became an army fighting for the void. So Lucian is the divine, and we still don't know if that really means he was a divine being or that's just his name. Lucian the Divine. I forgot what they called him. The God's Chosen, I guess. I think that's what was said. Anyway, so apparently he has an adopted son. So Alexander is his true-born son, I guess. And Damien is an adopted son. And it looks like Lucian had some issue with Yagurna. And I guess Damon blames him for her death, and that's how this cabal of the Black Ring came to being. And they fight for the Void. I guess simply because his father was not for the Void. Alright, or his adoptive father, I guess. Alright, Fane's notebook. Used to read. Read it. This notebook is filled with meticulous notes, observing the traits and habits of the mortal races. It details the foods they eat, the clothes they wear, and their speech patterns. It also includes some rather confused diagrams of their mating habits. Okay. So let's take a look at our book backpack. One of those. Yeah, one of those. Alright, these guys can graduate. They moved up a tier. Alright. Get that type. And now we have multiple backpacks. Let us get rid of all these buckets out of the inventory. Okay. And let's get all these out of our inventory. Alright. A bucket of water. Actually, that can be used for crafting. Let's go ahead and leave that there for now. Alright. Tidy up the inventory a bit. Alright, that's that. Okay, so now, let's speak to her with the elf.
Where is she? You go with us. Who are you? Are you from the shelter? She says nothing of another. Fire, alas! She is so late!
Alright. Lie and say yes, you're meant to go with him. Ask her to slow down and explain what she means. Say you're sorry, but you don't know what she means. If she explains, you may be able to help. Alright, let's try that.
A magister offers to help us flee. Atusa. She says there are many magisters who do not agree with the bishop. She says they bring us to safety.
Okay.
But Atusa is overdue. She promises to come at noon. We are afraid to stay, afraid to leave.
Ask if she knows where exactly Atusa is meant to take them. Say you never were one to trust a magister. Take your leave. Let's say you were never one to trust a magister.
Atusa is different. She does not believe in this place, in their bishop. She will come, and she will take us away from here.
Ask if she knows where exactly Atusa is meant to take them.
She says there is a shelter in the marshes outside the fort. She says she brings us there first. She knows a safe path. We wait for a boat, and then we go. Wherever we make a new home.
Take your leave.
If she is not here before the setting sun, I fear Magister Atusa forgets us.
So, it's interesting that you're not seeing anything with the elf tag. I mean, you would think that the two elves would have something to say to each other under that tag. Let's try lie and say yes, you're meant to go with them.
She leans forward and smiles.
Beautiful news, dear one. But you hear from Magister Atusa then? She is due here hours ago, and we hear nothing. We're afraid to stay, afraid to leave.
Okay. Take your leave. Say you never were one to trust a magister. Ask if she knows exactly. Ask if she knows where exactly Atusa is meant to take them. Say you haven't heard from Atusa. Perhaps it's best if you went to find her.
It is wiser than waiting here, but I cannot leave the little one alone. She is mine.
Right.
Please, you must tell us what you find. Atusa is our last hope to leave this place.
Ask her about her little one.
She hides now. Maybe you meet her, if you are gentle. I find her in the camp. Her parents are already taken. I am the only elf with a human child, I think. But she is mine. She lives in me. I protect her now.
Yep. So I guess that's what they're going to do with elves, is that they're just going to make them speak in the present tense. And that's just going to be the elf thing. Say you never were one to trust a magister.
Atusa is different. She does not believe in this place, in their bishop. She will come, and she will take us away from here.
Ask if she knows where exactly Atusa is meant to take them.
She says there is a shelter in the marshes outside the fort. She says she brings us there first. She knows a safe path. We wait for a boat, and then we go. Wherever we make a new home.
Okay. So now we got a new update. Okay. Signs of resistance. Which of the magisters are potential allies? Some magisters are helping sorcerers escape. Who are these dissidents? So we ended up getting 2 different quest updates, and we had to do it in 2 different conversations. That's kind of crazy.
If she is not here before the setting sun, I fear Magister Atusa forgets us.
So you hope it doesn't come to that.
And I.
Okay. Now that we've met we can deal with this. Okay, so let's do this. Let's talk to her with the lizard now.
You hear a small whimpering sound from behind a basket. You peer behind it and find a small human child holding her knees and trembling.
Okay. Take your leave. Tell her she's making a racket and to be silent. Place a hand on her head and softly whisper, "Shh." Gently ask the shaking child what's wrong. Well, so this is the Red Prince. He doesn't seem to be an overly caring kind of person, but he doesn't also seem to be an overly vicious kind of person. But I wouldn't expect either of these two from him, so tell her she's making a racket and to be silent.
The child's whimpers crescendo into wails. She doesn't lift her head. The child seems beside herself with sorrow and doesn't acknowledge you.
Well, that's pretty abrupt. Okay, well maybe not. So I'm finding out very quickly that you can vastly limit the amount of knowledge you gain from conversations by picking specific choices. Alright, so let's see. I don't think you would place the hand. Let's go with gently ask the shaking child what's wrong.
She looks up at you as if to answer, but recoils at the sight of you and buries her face in her knees once more.
Tell the snot-nosed little tyke to stop her sniveling. So that's probably just going to end to her crying again. Kindly ask the child why she seems to fear you so.
'Cause you're a master. Master sent us here. Me and Ma and Pa. She was not a nice lady. Lizards aren't nice ladies. They beat me.
So the lizard's considered a master, and she was a slave of a lizard. See, so you wouldn't have even got to see this. God bless. Okay. Assure her not all lizards are slavers. You never do her any harm. Say masters only beat slaves if they're naughty. She must have been very naughty. And then we have the Red Prince. Red Prince, so she's a slave. Tell her to pack her things and follow you. She's yours now.
The girl breaks down in tears and buries her face in the sand, pitifully trying to escape your presence. The child seems beside herself with sorrow and doesn't acknowledge you.
Alright. Well, since she's human, let's talk to her with Fate last. Over here. Save that.
The child seems beside herself with sorrow and doesn't acknowledge you.
So it looks like we locked ourselves out of that. Can Fane talk to her now?
The child seems beside herself with sorrow and doesn't acknowledge you.
Okay, so that completely locks you out of all the conversation points with the other two. Wow. That's interesting, because that didn't do that with the others. They could still talk to her. Like when I got locked out by Fane with Eunice, you know, she said human, get away. The other two were able to talk. But if I get locked out here, the other two can't talk to him. So I can't speak. I can't piss her off, basically. Alright. Let's go with place a hand on her head and softly whisper, "Shh."
She looks up at you as if to answer, but recoils at the sight of you and buries her face in her knees once more.
Kindly ask the child why she seems to fear you so.
'Cause you're a master. Master sent us here. Me and Ma and Pa. She was not a nice lady. Lizards aren't nice ladies. They beat me.
So obviously the only answer that's going to go forward positively, with a positive result, is this. Because I think this is going to be just like the first two, where they're just going to drop you from the conversation. Assure her not all lizards are slavers. You never do her any harm.
Gee, you don't sound like a master. You're nicer than the others. But I still miss my ma and pa.
Say you miss your parents too. Tell her everything is going to be alright. Say she needs to stay strong and be tough. Alright, well, I think this would be the best lizard answer, but they've been leading to bad results. Say she needs to stay strong and be tough.
I'm trying.
Okay.
The child doesn't lift her head from her knees.
Okay, does that lock us out?
You hear a small whimpering sound from behind a basket. You peer behind it and find a small human child holding her knees and trembling.
Gently ask the shaking child what's wrong.
The child quiets and seems comforted by your presence. She looks up at you with curious eyes.
Okay, so now we see a barbarian tag. Ask her why she was crying. Tell her to calm down. Squint and say she looks just like a warrior princess you used to know. Barbarian. Tell her if you hear one more peep out of her, she'll regret it.
The child's whimpers crescendo into wails. She doesn't lift her head. The child seems beside herself with sorrow and doesn't acknowledge you.
Okay. God. Are all the NPCs gonna be like this? Squint and say she looks just like a warrior princess you used to know.
A wide grin cracks across the child's face through her tears, showing two big gaps where her front teeth should be. She laughs.
Really? Yeah. Warrior Princess Coral.
Okay, we just got XP.
You're nice. You can have this. I found it outside, but I can't read it yet. That's next year, and then I'll learn it.
Then we got a scroll.
The child wipes her eyes and, grinning, plunks herself down on the earthen ground. She starts tracing shapes, hearts, stars, and diamonds into the dirt.
Okay, wow, so...
Everything has a heart, except lizards, maybe. Maybe they do. I don't know. The waterfall has a heart made of a giant diamond, see?
I wonder what that means. The waterfall has a heart made of a giant diamond. So what if we talk to Faint now?
Everything has a heart,
Hmm.
except lizards, maybe. Maybe they do. I don't know. The waterfall has a heart made of a giant diamond, see?
So that resolved it like we did with the Red Prince, except it resolved it in a good way. But that still locked Fane out from talking to her. Alright, so let's go back. So if we tell her about the princess bit, she loves it. But then we miss out on these other points. Ask her why she was crying.
There are monsters here. Lizard ones and real ones. It's really scary. And I miss my ma and pa.
Okay. Ask her why she's scared of lizards.
Master was a lizard. She sent us here. Me, ma and pa. She was not a nice lady. Lizards aren't nice ladies. It's their fault I'll never see ma and pa again.
Alright, say you miss your parents too. Tell her everything is going to be alright. Say she needs to stay strong and be tough. Tell her everything is going to be alright. Now, say you miss your parents too.
Parents are the best. They take care of you and make sure nothing can hurt you. And when they leave, you're all alone.
Her eyes lock with yours for a moment. She places her head on her knees and sits quietly. The child doesn't lift her head from her knees.
So that doesn't resolve it. So can we resolve it now with him?
You hear a small whimpering sound from behind a basket. You peer behind it and find a small human child holding her knees and trembling.
Alright. Gently ask the shaky child what's wrong.
The child quiets and seems comforted by your presence. She looks up at you with curious eyes.
Alright, so he gets the same line. But he gets a mystic now. Ask if she needs a hug.
The child nods and reaches up to you. As you hold her, her breathing grows slow and calm. Her wet face is damp on your neck. She lets go and looks up at you with a small smile.
Thanks. You're nice. You can have this. I found it outside, but I can't read it yet. That's next year, and then I'll learn it.
She nestles back into her spot on the ground and starts tracing figures. A little family in front of a house in the dirt.
Okay, so we get the scroll and XP.
Everything has a heart, except lizards, maybe. Maybe they do. I don't know. The waterfall has a heart made of a giant diamond, see?
Okay. So that's a resolution. Alright. Interesting. So, I wonder if she stops crying.
Bottle of arrow.
Oh, she starts saying new things now. Alright, so we picked up a electric discharge scroll. We know all about that. And some XP. So that's cool. So you really do need to talk to all these NPCs with multiple people to really get the best outcomes and the storylines. Because I had to talk to Eunice with 2 different characters to get 2 different quest updates. And I couldn't get them in the same speech. And obviously you saw here, if you go with the Red Prince route, you just locked her out, you wouldn't see the XP and you wouldn't see the scroll. Wow. Okay.
La 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 la.
Alright, so what I want to do now is play around with the stealing function in the game. So let's have the lizard come over here and lock her up.
Everything has a heart, except lizards, maybe. Maybe they do. I don't know. The waterfall has a heart made of a giant diamond, see?
Alright, so we're going to take the main character back down here, get her out of here, and then we're going to play around with what's going on here. Alright, so based on the ship, when we tried to steal the source collar that was on the ground by the corpse, Finn's corpse I think his name was, we noticed that right when we picked it up, it caused the crime scene to pop up, and the owner, Magister Waters, immediately started searching and found us because we were sneaking, and she saw through the sneak. But we found that when you pick items out of the containers as opposed to off the ground, they don't investigate it. So if you see all these items on the ground, I guarantee you that when I start picking them up, she's going to turn and look and say, hey, what's going on? So you have to do it in a way where you can pick them up and get away from her in sneak mode before she detects that you're there. So we're going to come up here and see what's in here. Alright, so we have all kinds of containers and stuff on the ground. Okay, so let's check out our cones here. Can she see us in here? Okay, so yeah, it's kind of went this way a little bit. So it's going to be hard to get those, and this, oh, goes all the way up to that, but not to here. She's looking this way. So, looks like I'll be fine if I just stay right behind here. Alright, so if we go into sneak mode, and so we see 2 things on the ground there. Let's go ahead and open up these. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. Alright, let's try that. Alright, so if we take this, how long will it take for her to notice that this is off the ground? I wonder if she'll come up immediately. Yeah, see how she notices it? try to get behind her. Okay, so we're getting caught here. Okay, so see, that's how that happens. Okay. There's a thief on the loose. I must check all of your bags of the stolen goods. Attack, allow the search. Try to talk your way out of the situation. I don't think we can do that with feign. Attempt to bribe. Looks like a 56. Memory persuasion. Human, shake your head. Would this be happening if you weren't human? Finesse, persuasion, insist that you are guilty of nothing more than appreciating the beauty standing in front of you. Wits, persuasion, state that you would under normal circumstances, but you'd be beyond embarrassed for someone to see what's in there. So he has wits and finesse. Let's go with finesse. Insists that you are guilty of nothing more than appreciating the beauty standing in front of you. So, narrator failure. Persuasion failure. Your persuasion 0. Needed 2. Continue. I've got no patience for lies. Help! Over here. Someone help. Someone help me. I have to deal with this myself. Alright, well, that's weird. Okay. So I got a question in here. I have him locked up. What does she do? Okay, I think I might have broken something. Let's check something else out here. So let's intentionally get caught this time. But do so without her being locked up. Stick him down here. Alright, let's go ahead and actually get caught. Where's he at? Where's Fane? Where is Fane at? Oh, there he is. Okay. Alright. So this bucket should do. So once she turns this way, there it is. What's this? Burglary.
Grab a bottle of arrow.
Alright. There's a thief on the loose. I must check all of your bags for the stolen goods. Try to talk your way out of the situation. Memory, persuasion, human. Point at your accuser. They wouldn't say that if you weren't human. Finesse, persuasion. Hold your hand to your stomach and say you think you're going to be sick. Wits, persuasion. State that you would under normal circumstances, but you'd be beyond embarrassed for someone to see what's in there. Let's do wits. Narrator, persuasion failure. Your persuasion 0. Needed 2. Continue. I've got no patience for lies. Thief, thief. Help. I have to deal with this myself. Coral does get involved. Okay.
Honest. No, I'll protect you.
No, Coral! Go!
But honest, I can.
Quiet, child! Run! Now!
Okay. So she runs and disappears apparently. Alright, so that's what happens there. Okay. So this has taught me a few things here. So number 1, don't do this with a character that doesn't have persuasion. And yes, we did break a script there. Alright, so let's get Fane over here. And I don't really need him to do that, I just need him to pickpocket, so there's no big loss on who's doing this part of it. Alright, so now you see she came running in here really fast once we picked these off the ground. We almost got by her actually. Let's see if we can't get by her here. Okay. Alright, we'll look at all the loot once we get... Okay, okay. We might have snuck by her. Might have gotten back there. Yeah, we're getting away. Something's afoot. Checking it out. So, let's see if we can get out of here. Alright. Looks like we beat the game. She's on the search now, on the prowl. So she's searching. Now the Red Prince is here locked up. I wonder if she can blame him. Okay. So it looks like she's still searching around. So how do you know when she's done searching? Okay. She goes into that animation. Okay, so when she starts quivering, she's probably done searching for the culprit. Yeah. Okay, so that's how that's going to work. Okay. That's good to know. So we come back here again. Sneak fail. Alright. Oh, we got that one. We did get one. Alright. So we need to get these balls. Let's see, another. I insist you stop sneaking about. Okay, she doesn't like that. Uh-oh. Can't hit the bedroll. Can I get out of here before she realizes it? What's this? Burglary. Okay. Okay, looks like we got away from her again. They can't have gone far. Ooh, she can do that. Okay. So she actually interrupted it. Alright. I'm on the search for missing goods. I must search all of your bags. Well, Red Prince doesn't have anything, so let's allow the search. Right then. Let's see what I find. Continue. Nothing strange here. Thanks for being so nice about it. Can't be too careful nowadays. Ha! Interesting. You can't hide forever.
Everything has a heart, except lizards, maybe. Maybe they do. I don't know. The waterfall has a heart made of a giant diamond, see?
I wonder what that line means. Seems like it's alluding to treasure. Alright. So the key to stealing shit in this game is the stuff on the ground. Everything else seems pretty easy to get to. You just gotta get the stuff on the ground. That's gonna be very difficult. Alright, what do we have over here? Another container. Basket. Oh, sacks. Oh, sacks here. Alright, so how do we get this stuff here? We got all this stuff on the ground. It's gonna be hard to get this. Basically, we need her to path up here some more to give us the most opportunity to get stuff. Because once I steal this, she'll immediately turn around and catch me. So I need her to be away from me. Definitely not there. Yeah. It's gonna be a pain. Get that one right now. And let her resolve that one. Once she turns over here. Oh, I missed the fishbone. Fuck. Yeah, a robbery. Something's afoot. Checking it out. So I missed the fishbone on the ground. I didn't even see that because it's not showing up with the tooltip. You gotta be careful here, man. There's a lot of things that don't show up on the tooltips that you can pick up. She gonna interrupt the prince again? Looks like she might be done already. Alright. A robbery. A thief's prowling about, I'm afraid. Let me see all of your belongings. Allow the search. Good answer. Now let's take a look. Nothing strange here. Thanks for being so nice about it. Can't be too careful nowadays.
Everything has a heart, except lizards, maybe. Maybe they do. I don't know. The waterfall has a heart made of a giant diamond, see?
So it is beneficial to have him locked up there. I wonder if that stops, like, if you answer that way, will it automatically stop her searching for you? For the actual person that did it? Or does she still try to search? I can't even get it on there. There it is, now it's showing up. I can see what you're doing. Oh. Just out of curiosity. We have a 10 attitude with her. Leave that alone. So we lost 5 attitude, robbery. So she caught us red-handed, the thief's on the loose. I'm on the search for missing goods. I must search all your bags. Allow the search. Reach for your weapon. You're not in a talking mood. Try to talk your way out of the situation. Attempt to bribe. Memory. Persuasion. Say you would expect someone of the same race to be a little more forgiving. Finesse persuasion. Proclaim that you are nobility and will not entertain such frivolity. You shouldn't even see that unless you have the noble tag. Wits persuasion. Say you are transporting the pack for a friend and promised you would keep its contents private. Alright. Narrator. Persuasion success. Fine then, but I'm keeping my eye on you. Come out wherever you are. Okay, so now we have to get 2 more of them. We lost some attitude there, but... Oh. A robbery. You test my patience, no more warnings. Interesting. This time she doesn't... Looks like we got away with it. Scot-free. Alright. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Now let's see what we picked up. So picked up some garlic we already had. Another bucket. Oh, speaking of buckets. You have a tattered helmet, a tattered hood, woven hand wraps, prisoner boots. He can be done. Let's get him to join us. He can have a bucket. I think he can have a bucket. I don't see the bucket. Did I give it? Where'd I put the bucket at? I guess I put the bucket here. Alright, here's a bucket for him. Alright, that's that. Another bedroll. Let's add that to wares. Some more bowls. Bronze scale pants, leggings, 5 physical armor, 1 magic armor, requires 10 strength. You'll always look ready for a battle in chainmail pants. Your actual readiness is, of course, up to you. Okay. What does that make us look like? Alright. Doesn't really go with it, but... yeah. Alright. So, stain pants. Yeah, stain pants. Bane, get some stain pants. Threadbare. Go to wares. We picked up a decaying touch scroll, 1 AP. Deal 8 to 9. Deal 8 to 9 damage to target character. Sets decay. So the target will take physical damage from healing spells and potions. Stolen. Set decaying for 2 turns. Damage is based on your level and resistance bonus from intelligence. Resisted by physical armor, 2 meter range. A scroll is a one-time use spell. Use to start casting. Alright. Minor healing potion. Okay. So that's that. Alright, so that was the thievery tutorial. So there is another part of that. So we have thievery, so we should be able to pickpocket. So you can't pickpocket within their sight cone, but you can alter their sight cone by putting them into conversation. So let's lock her up.
So, what next?
Okay. Then we come over here and ensure she stays locked up in a conversation.
Everything has a heart, except lizards, maybe. Maybe they do. I don't know. The waterfall has a heart made of a giant diamond, see?
So then we take Bane, go to sneaking mode, and pickpocket. Ooh. So she has some shells, lockpicks, toy button block, and an unadorned belt. 4 physical armor, 2 initiative, level 2. Made of simple leather, this unremarkable belt will at least keep your pants where they ought to be. Okay, so if you notice down here, it tells you the total weight of stolen items and the maximum weight that you can steal. And then the total value of stolen items and the maximum value of the items that you can steal. So now let's go over here and do this. We get Razzle Dazzle, Cloth Scraps. Where the layman sees simple scraps, the crafty eye perceives all manner of handy applications. And Lemonade, 1 AP effects unknown. Alright, so then we'll go ahead and come back down here. We will break her. Say you're certain Tuesday will come. It's only a matter of time.
Nothing at all is certain. This is a new time. Put your faith nowhere.
Alright, so she's going to figure out she's been pickpocketed. Versus the thief must be near. Alright, she should figure out she's been pickpocketed, I would think.
Grab a bottle
Nope.
of arrow.
Come out, wherever you are. So what, did they make it where the children don't react to being pickpocketed? They can't have gone far. Okay. So it looks like we got away with it. So Fane picked up some stuff. Actually, we'll give him those and the trap disarm. No, he doesn't need the trap disarm. Well, let's just, he's thieverish-like. We'll go ahead and leave that to him. Alright, so we have a belt. We'll go ahead and stick that on. And Razzle Dazzle Grenade. Some of that, and some lemonade. Cloth scraps. So, do we have any recipes for armor we can make? Oh, we picked up recipes. Oh, Fane gave us recipes for the Mask of the Shapeshifter. Look at this. Any human mask of the Shapeshifter. Any Dwarven mask of the Shapeshifter. Any Elven mask of the Shapeshifter. Any Lizard mask of the Shapeshifter. And a Source Orb, and we can make our own mask of the Shapeshifter. So we can make the Lizard. So to make a lizard, we need a ripped off lizard face and a Source Orb for a lizard mask of the Shapeshifter. And it looks like it's going to be the same thing for each of these. So yeah, ripped off Dwarven face, Source Orb, ripped off Elven face and a Source Orb, and a ripped off human face and a Source Orb. But no other armor. Okay, so let's see. Can I create something with these cloth scraps right off the bat? Yeah, let's try. Find some recipes with them. Alright, so we're gonna need a needle and thread. I don't think we have that. We have a needle, but we don't have a thread. So that's not going to help us. Alright, we might be able to make some weapons out of it too. Okay. Alright. So now we're done with that. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's see where we're at here. Let's head up this way. Okay. Notice how the tension thing popped up. So it says tension low. You're safe to move around and do as you please. Which really isn't. We couldn't do as we pleased. Alright. Alright, where are we at here? Alright. Let's go ahead and end this episode here and pick up the next episode with going down this path. Alright, later guys.